Have you ever noticed how sometimes the closer you get to a woman, the more she suddenly pulls back? One day she's warm, smiling, laughing at your jokes, and the next she's distant, guarded, maybe even cold. It feels confusing, right? Almost like she's pushing you away at the exact moment you thought things were getting better. But here's the chilling truth, the one most men never realize. When a woman pushes you away the hardest, it's often when she actually wants you the most. Yes, you heard me right. And in this video, I'm going to reveal why. Stay with me, because once you understand this hidden layer of female psychology, you'll stop second-guessing yourself and start seeing her behavior for what it really is. The hidden defense mechanism. Here's the first thing you need to know. Women are deeply wired for emotional self-protection. When feelings get too intense, when attraction is undeniable, many women instinctively throw up walls. Why? Because desire makes her feel vulnerable. And vulnerability, in the female mind, is both thrilling and terrifying. When she pushes you away, what she's really doing is testing. Can this man handle the real me? Can he handle my emotions, my doubts, my fears? Think about the last time you saw a woman suddenly become busy, right when things were heating up between you two. She wasn't actually busy. She was overwhelmed by the intensity of what she was feeling. Her brain activated its protection protocol, creating distance to regain emotional equilibrium. This defense mechanism isn't conscious. It's hardwired into the female psyche through centuries of evolutionary programming. Women who could protect themselves emotionally were more likely to choose stable partners and raise successful offspring. So when she goes cold, don't assume she's lost interest. Ask yourself instead, what is she scared to lose if she lets me in completely? Fear of losing control. Here's where it gets darker. A woman knows that if she lets herself completely fall for you, she risks losing her sense of control. And control, for many women, is safety. Think about it. If she likes you more than you like her, she could get hurt. If she needs you more than you need her, she risks rejection. So what does she do? She creates distance. She pushes you away, not because she doesn't want you, but because she wants you too much. This fear of losing control manifests in countless ways. She might suddenly stop initiating conversations. She might cancel plans at the last minute. She might even start talking about other men, trying to make you jealous while simultaneously creating emotional distance. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. She's terrified of becoming dependent on the feelings you give her. The rush of attraction, the comfort of your presence, the security of knowing you care. These feelings are intoxicating, and she knows it. Women are acutely aware of how powerful love can be, how it can completely reshape priorities and decisions. She's seen friends lose themselves in relationships, watched strong women become shadows of their former selves when love went wrong. So she pulls back, not because the feelings aren't real, but because they're too real. Ever noticed how some women act the most unbothered right when they're secretly obsessed with a man? That's not coincidence. It's strategy, even if it's subconscious. The emotional stress test. Let me tell you something powerful. Women subconsciously stress test men. When she ignores your text, cancels plans, or acts colder than usual, she's watching your reaction. Do you crumble? Do you chase desperately? Or do you remain calm, collected, and grounded? Because the truth is, she's not just pushing you away to punish you. She's doing it to see if you're man enough to stand steady in the storm of her emotions. This testing isn't malicious. It's necessary. She needs to know that if life gets difficult, if she has bad days, if she's not always at her best, you won't abandon ship. She's essentially asking, are you strong enough to be my partner? or will you fold under pressure? A test goes deeper than just handling her temporary distance. She's evaluating your emotional stability, your self-worth, your ability to remain centered when things get uncertain. These qualities aren't just attractive, they're essential for long-term relationship success. Most men fail this test spectacularly. They panic when she pulls back. They send desperate texts trying to fix things. They overthink every interaction, becoming needy and insecure. This reaction confirms her worst fears, that you're not the strong, stable man she thought you were. But when you pass the test, when you remain calm, confident, and centered despite her emotional turbulence, something magical happens. Her respect for you deepens. Her attraction intensifies. She realizes she's found something rare, a man who can weather her storms. Here's the secret. If you break under pressure, she loses respect. But if you stay strong, she comes back harder than ever. Past trauma and emotional scars. But it goes even deeper. Many women push away the men they want most because of unresolved pain. Maybe she was betrayed in the past. Maybe she gave her heart too freely once, only to be shattered. So now, when she feels that same strong attraction again, her defense system kicks in like an alarm. It's not you she's rejecting. It's her own fear repeating old wounds. Past relationships leave invisible scars on everyone, but women often carry them differently than men. Where a man might become emotionally unavailable or refuse to commit, a woman might push and pull, creating chaos to avoid the vulnerability that led to previous heartbreak. She remembers how it felt to trust completely, only to be blindsided by betrayal. She recalls the pain of investing everything in someone who ultimately proved unworthy. These memories don't just fade, they become protective mechanisms, warning systems that activate when she starts to feel too much too quickly. A cruel irony is that the stronger her feelings for you, the louder these warning systems become. Her past self whispers, "Remember what happened last time you felt this way? Remember how much it hurt when he left?" So she creates distance not because she doesn't trust you, but because she doesn't trust her own judgment. She's afraid that her feelings are clouding her vision, making her ignore red flags like she did before. Understanding this changes everything. When you realize her pushback isn't about you, but about her fear of repeating past mistakes, you can respond with patience instead of frustration, understanding instead of confusion. And here's the kicker. The more she feels you're different from the rest, the stronger that fear often grows, because deep down, she knows you could actually break through her walls. The female power play. Let's talk about power. Attraction is not just about love or lust, it's about leverage. When a woman pushes you away, sometimes she's creating an illusion of power. By making you chase, by making you wonder, she regains a sense of control in the dynamic. But here's the psychological twist. This only happens when she feels strongly for you. If she didn't care at all, she wouldn't need to play the game. Power dynamics in relationships are complex and often misunderstood. When a woman feels herself falling for you, she might unconsciously try to rebalance the equation by making you chase her. It's not calculated manipulation, it's an instinctive attempt to avoid being in the vulnerable position of wanting someone more than they want her. This behavior stems from a deep understanding of relationship dynamics. She knows that in most relationships, whoever cares less holds more power. Whoever is more willing to walk away has more control. So when her feelings intensify, she might create artificial distance to test your interest level and maintain her position of strength. The power play also serves another function. It helps her gauge your true character. Are you the type of man who pursues what he wants, or do you give up at the first sign of resistance? Do you respect her autonomy, or do you become possessive and demanding? She's looking for a man who can appreciate the chase without becoming desperate, who can pursue her without losing his dignity, who can want her without needing her. So remember this: indifference is silent, games are loud. If she's playing games, it's because you matter more than she wants to admit. The paradox of feminine desire. Now let me reveal something many men never want to accept. Women often feel the strongest desire for the man they are most afraid of losing. That fear of loss triggers a defense mechanism pushing you away. It's her way of saying, "Don't get too close, unless you're ready to prove you can handle me." This paradox lies at the heart of female psychology. The same feelings that draw her to you also terrify her. The stronger the attraction, the greater the potential for devastation if things go wrong. She might find herself thinking about you constantly, feeling butterflies when you text, missing you when you're apart, and these very feelings scare her. They represent a loss of her carefully maintained independence, a crack in her emotional armor. So she creates distance as a form of self-preservation. If she can convince herself and you that she doesn't need you, then losing you won't hurt as much. If she can maintain some emotional distance, she protects herself from the full force of potential heartbreak. But this strategy backfires in a crucial way by pushing away the man she desires most. She creates the very scenario she fears the possibility of actually losing him. The women who push hardest are often the ones feeling the most. They're not playing hard to get for sport. They're genuinely struggling with the intensity of their own emotions. So when she distances herself, don't panic. Don't beg. Don't chase. Instead, stand your ground. Because if you can hold steady, she'll come back with twice the intensity. The security test. Here's another layer most men miss. When she pushes you away, she's also testing your security in yourself. Insecure men crumble at the first sign of distance. They immediately assume they've done something wrong, that they're not good enough, that she's found someone better. This reaction is exactly what she's unconsciously screening for. Secure men, on the other hand, remain grounded. They don't take her temporary distance personally because they understand it's about her internal process, not their worth as men. She needs to know that your confidence doesn't depend on her constant validation. She needs to see that your happiness doesn't hinge on her mood. She's looking for a man who is so secure in himself that he can give her space to work through her feelings without falling apart. This security test is crucial because it predicts how you'll handle challenges in a long-term relationship. If you can't handle her pulling back temporarily, how will you handle the real stresses of life together? If you become needy when she's working through her emotions, how will you support her during difficult times?
The men who pass this test are the ones who understand that her distance is temporary, that it's about her internal journey, not his inadequacy. The magnetic pull of emotional strength. Women are drawn to emotional strength like a magnet, not the fake tough guy act, but genuine emotional resilience, the ability to remain centered regardless of external circumstances. When she tests you by pulling away and you remain calm and confident, you demonstrate exactly the kind of emotional strength she craves in a partner. You show her that you're not dependent on her validation, that you have your own source of inner strength. This strength is incredibly attractive because it promises security. She can let her guard down with a man who won't be shaken by her emotional storms. She can be vulnerable with someone who won't use that vulnerability against her. Most importantly, your emotional strength gives her permission to feel her emotions fully without fear of overwhelming you. She doesn't have to manage your insecurities on top of her own feelings. How to respond when she pushes you away. Here's what you need to do the next time she pulls back. Stay calm. Don't mirror her emotional storm. Don't over-explain or over-text. Let her feel the silence. Show her through your actions that her distance doesn't shake your value. Maintain your own life, interests, and friendships. Don't make her your entire world. When she does reach out, be warm but not desperate, available but not waiting by the phone. Give her the space she needs while making it clear you're not going anywhere. Most importantly, don't try to fix her or her feelings. Let her work through her internal process without interference. Your role isn't to chase her back, it's to be the stable, secure presence she can return to when she's ready. When she sees that you're not afraid of losing her, she'll be drawn back, because in her eyes, that makes you stronger than her fear. Remember, women don't push away weak men. They push away the ones who have the power to truly affect them. The long game understanding female psychology means playing the long game, not reacting to every emotional shift. Women cycle through different emotional states, and the wise man learns to weather these cycles without losing his center. He understands that her temporary distance doesn't mean the end of everything. It means she's processing, evaluating, and working through her own feelings. The long game requires patience, emotional intelligence, and the confidence to let her come to her own conclusions about you and the relationship. Men who try to force outcomes, who panic at every sign of distance, who need constant reassurance, invariably push women away permanently. But men who can remain steady, who trust the process, who maintain their own emotional strength, these are the men women return to again and again. So here's the final truth. When a woman pushes you away, it's often not rejection. It's recognition. Recognition that you matter more than she's ready to admit. Don't fall for the illusion. Understand the psychology, play the long game, and you'll see that her distance is really just desire in disguise. The key is developing the emotional intelligence to read between the lines, to see the fear behind the distance, to understand that her push might actually be a pull in disguise. When you can remain centered in the face of her uncertainty, when you can provide steady strength without losing your own identity, when you can give her space without giving up on what you've built together, that's when you become irresistible. Because ultimately, what every woman wants is a man who can handle all of her, the light and the shadow, the warmth and the distance, the love and the fear. Be that man, and her temporary pushbacks will become permanent pull-ins. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more deep dives into female psychology. And don't stop here. Check out the other videos on this channel where I reveal even more secrets women never want men to know. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.